Today, the theme is, as just said, vibrancy, and I was leaning into what this was going to be, and very much with the summer, like really landing in the last week or so. It's that vibrancy, heat, joy, nature. It's such an opportunity to connect to our own vibrancy. But because sometimes the summer can leave us also feeling kind of overstimulated, sometimes quite heady, under resourced, more social stuff, drawing on our social batteries, all of that jazz. Actually supporting ourselves in this way and resourcing us with that kind of stability is also key. Now, vibrancy for me is ultimately aliveness. Vibrancy doesn't have to be busy, exhilaration at every turn. It's about being awake to life, awake to connection, awake to beauty in and around us, if it's bolstered by this rootedness and support. So this practice is about vibrancy, that aliveness, also resourced by that stability. So we're going to start with some activating breath work, move on to some chair-based movement, and then a compassion-based meditation at the end. Everything is absolute invitation only. So you can keep your eyes open if that feels more safe and comfortable for you. Nothing should ever feel uncomfortable, cause pain. If it makes you feel anxious, never push through that stuff. Always take a break and take care of yourself through this practice as well. So let's begin with the breath here. And so just take a moment, either with eyes open, eyes closed, just to get your feet on the floor. If you can kick your shoes off, then I'd invite you to. If you can't, that's all good as well. And just have a little wiggle around in your chair. And then taking a moment just to check in with how you're doing. Follow the whole length of that natural inhale, the whole length of your out breath, just as it is. And just noticing what's here in your energy levels, your thoughts, if there's any emotions or sensations in the body. Just welcoming all of this honest human experience. Yeah. And with every natural breath, just welcoming all of yourself to be here right now, with this rising and falling of the breath. Perhaps bringing a bit more awareness into your feet. And just as you arrive, settle here, I'm just going to tell you a little about the breath that we're going to explore today. So the inhale is going to be broken up into 3 sips of air. And then sighing out your exhale. We'll be continuing like that, and I'll let you know when we're going to get started at a bit more of a pace. But before we get into a rhythm, let's just practice this a bit slower with a bit of movement here. So on your next inhale, let's break it up into 3 sips of air. And sigh it out. Now practicing that at a slow pace to begin with. And we're just going to bring in a bit of movement here. So on your next inhale, just gradually squeezing your feet, hands, shoulders, bum on that inhale. And then letting it go. And taking a few more of these breaths with that gradual tension. And then releasing it out. Those 3 sips. And then letting it go. And just taking a few more rounds with that movement, engaging and releasing. Seeing if perhaps you can soften a little more at the end of each exhale. And softening the jaw, perhaps finding a little bit more open space in the mouth on that exhale. And if it feels comfortable to you and also within the environment you're in, perhaps bringing a bit more of a sighing quality to that exhale. And just take a few more, just like that, with this gradual tension, and then releasing it down. Cool. Lovely. On this next inhale, this is going to be the last one with this tension as well. And then letting it go. Receiving the chair, the feet against the floor. And now we're going to start here, just with the breath. Now keep this going. Now I might be going at a bit of a slightly faster pace than you. Find a pace now for this that you can maintain for these next few minutes. And that might change up a few times over these next few minutes too. That's okay. Finding that rich inhale right to the top. And then that gradual wave of the out breath and the sigh. Keep that going and find your rhythm. And start to sense this energy spreading across the heart and the shoulders with that rising in and that softening through the body on the out breath. This energy spreading across the heart, across the shoulders, across the throat, connecting you to the aliveness that's here as you stay with that. And if you need to take a break at any time, you can, and just come right back in. Find that lift, 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 and go. Lift, 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 and go. Just bringing up, conjuring up this aliveness, this vibrancy. Just bringing a bit more wakefulness into the system, whilst also this sense of connection to the earth, connection to your feet, connection to that stability as we wake up our senses. I'm just going to keep this going for another minute or so. All of us breathing together with that in as it rises to the top, out as it falls down. Amazing. Is there an opportunity to make those sighs a little bit more satisfying? Lovely. We're going to take 5 more of these rounds of breath. Keep it going. Lovely. And on that 5th inhale, don't rush together, but when you do, hold it at the top. And then as you breathe out, very gradually blow that breath out of the lips. And then find another rich inhale right to the top. And gradually let it go. And now we're going to stay with this unbroken in-breath. This unbroken out-breath. And just keep this going now. And if it feels comfortable, bring a slight husky, audible quality to your inhale, almost like you're steaming up your sunglasses with your lips closed. Feeling that upward wave of the in, that downward wave of the out. And just for a moment here, as you stay with this smooth, unbroken breath now, taking a moment to notice what's here. Your energy levels, your mood, any sensation in the aftermath of that practice. What's the qualities that were left behind? And with this gentle checking in, again, returning to your feet against the earth, your body against the chair, stable, constant, with that unbroken rise of the in and that unbroken fall of the out. And from here, we're just going to start to turn the palms over, just in this gentle receiving posture, just for a moment. And with eyes open or closed, staying with that audible breath, stepping your feet just a little wider than your hip. On your next exhale, we're going to lower our chin down towards our chest. We're not forcing any stretch here. On your inhale, roll one ear to one shoulder. And as you breathe out, roll it back down into the center. And inhale, rolling to the other side. And exhale, bringing it down and just taking a few at your pace. Using that whole length of the in to bring you over. The whole length of the out breath to bring you down. And finding that rhythm paced with your breath. I'm just going to take this a few more times, just gently releasing the neck. Check in with the jaw if there's any gripping there, maybe give it a little wiggle. Almost like you're chewing a big piece of gum. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, bring the chin back down into center with your exhale. And on your inhale, lifting the chin up and just take a round of breath just to check in with that whole area we've just moved. Our next movement is going to be with our inhale, we're going to take our arms wide, spread your fingers wide, lift your heart. And as you breathe out, we're going to curl in on ourselves. Take hands over to opposite shoulders, chin in towards the chest, and maybe even let your tailbone roll under. On your in-breath, we open wide. And on your out-breath, coming back into that little hug. And just take a few rounds of breath here, just getting a bit more familiar with this new move that's just come in. Staying with that husky quality of the breath, if that feels comfortable for you. And perhaps even playing with swapping opposite arms to be on top as you come back into that little hug. And just taking a few more just like this, opening up. And then coming back into that little hug, just curling back in on ourselves. And it's that balance of vibrancy where we can be out here, alive, awake, but with that return, that safety, that ease that we can always come back to. And just taking a few more rounds, just like this. Wonderful. Once more here. And as you come back into that hug, just take a moment here. Breathe into that little containment. And very gradually release. And for a round or two of breath, just notice what's here now. How you're doing, how you're feeling, how you're breathing. And then our final move here in this section of the practice, you might want to stretch your legs out in front of you so they're relatively straight. And we're just going to curl on the wrists and turn on the ankles. And still staying with that husky breath. Really articulating through the toes, through the feet, through the fingers. And then taking them around in the other direction. You can even bring the shoulders into this as well. Wonderful. And then very gradually step your feet back towards you, hands onto the lap. Take a breath or two here just to see where your attention is drawn to. Finding that rising of the in-breath and the falling of the out-breath. And from here, we can just soften our breath to a natural pace. We can let go of that huskiness, any need to control it. Finding that wave-like in-breath. And perhaps on the exhale, maybe even giving a and a big span of satisfying exhales. Now we're going to stay here now with this softer breath, but see if we can stay with the whole length of the inhale and the whole length of the exhale. You can do this with your eyes open or closed. Sensing that upward wave of the inhale from the feet to the crown of your head. And the exhale like a wave of ease, and maybe the vibration of that if you're doing it from your crown to your feet. That rise of the in-breath and that wave of the out-breath. Just staying with this sense of the breath traveling like a wave up through the body and then flowing back down through the body. And as you gently find your familiarity here, we're going to weave just a little extra into this. On your inhale, silently to yourself saying, "Here I am." And on the fall of the out breath, "Here I am." Here I am on the in. Here I am on the out. And staying with this breath and these gentle words, just another layer offering to yourself right now. And what's the quality of these words? How are they landing in your body? This "here I am." What arises in your mood, your posture, the expression on your face even? Here I am, the in, and here I am on the out. And you might feel called to place a hand on the body, maybe the heart, the belly, a hand to the cheek, whatever strengthens that message further. Here I am. Here I am. Now, staying with the breath, we're going to invite now the words on the inhale, "just as I am." And on the out breath, "just as I am." Just as I am. Just as I am. And taking a few moments to find this rhythm with this new message, this new little bit of information we're offering ourselves. Just as I am. Just as I am. And with these words, just holding it with some curiosity, what's the quality of this message? How's it landing in your body, in your breath, in your mood, in your posture? Just as I am. Just as I am. Finding that rise of the in, just as I am. And the fall of the out, just as I am. And stay with this just for a few more rounds of breath, following the words and the breath. And on your next exhale, getting right to the end, and let all the words, all the intentions, let it all fall away and just rest here in the aftermath of that. What's here now? Where's your mood? Where's your attention being drawn to? What are you awake to right now? And in the aftermath of this, asking, what does a day ahead lived in more vibrancy look like? And both awake, vibrant, alive, and supported. And let that guidance just tell you how you need to gently bring yourself back into this space now. Maybe have a yawn, a stretch, a wiggle. Give yourself a little hug. Thank you very much.